Hello friends, welcome to my new data structures and algorithms in Java tutorial series video. Friends, in this tutorial we will discuss how to reverse an array in Java. So friends, let's suppose we are given an array and our task is to reverse the array. So for example, let's suppose we are given an array of integers having values as 2, 11, 5, 10, 7 and 8. So when we will reverse this array of integers, it would become 8, 7, 10, 5, 11, 2, which you can see below. So friends, let's suppose we are given a numbers array whose length is 6, that is having index from 0 to 5, and we want to reverse this array. So here is an algorithm to reverse an array. So let's see the demonstration of this algorithm step by step. So in order to call the reverse array method, we pass in the numbers array which we actually want to reverse. We also provide a range in which we want to reverse the array. So here, as we want to reverse this complete array, we give the start position at 0 and the end position numbers.length -1. So here you can see the length of the array is 6 and -1 becomes 5. So the end index is 5 because we want to reverse this complete array. So when we call this method by passing in the numbers array which we want to reverse, the value of start is 0 and the value of end is 5. So friends, start and end is nothing but the range between which we want to reverse an array. So the idea behind this algorithm is we usually take two pointers. One is the start pointer and one is the end pointer. So here you can see currently the value of start is 0. So we simply refer to the index 0 and the value of end is 5. So we simply refer to the value at index 5. So the values which start and end hold are nothing but the indices of the array, which is nothing but the range. So here we actually want to reverse this array from the start position to end position. So let's see it's working. So in the first step what we do is we actually provide a while loop, and the condition we provide in the while loop is we check whether start is less than end or not. So here value of start is 0 and value of end is 5. So here in the condition in while block comes out to be true. So friends, what we actually do, we simply swap the value at start index with the value at end index because we want to reverse this array. So we actually reverse this array by making swap pairwise between start and the end index. So here, in order to swap these two values, first we will create a temporary variable to store the value at the start index. So it would look something like this. So the value at start index is nothing but 2. So we are storing it in temporary variable. Moving ahead. Now as we have stored this value in the temporary variable, we can simply assign the value at end index to the start index. So it would look something like this. So now value at index 0 is 8. Moving ahead. And now we'll simply assign the value stored in temporary variable to the end index. So it would look something like this. So the value in the array at the end index now becomes 2. Moving ahead. So friends, here we have swapped these two values which are being referred by the start position and the end position. So after we have swapped these two values, now we simply increment the start by 1 and we decrement the end by 1. So here we are incrementing the start by 1. So as start is holding the value of 0, it becomes 1. So now it will refer to the index 1. Moving ahead. And then we'll decrement the end by 1. So as end is having value of 5, now it becomes 4. And now it will point to the fourth index. In the while loop, we'll again check whether start is less than end or not. So here you can see value of start is 1 and value of end is 4. So therefore the condition in while block comes out to be true. And now we'll simply swap these two values which are being referred by start position and end position. So first we'll store the value of array at start index into the temporary variable. So now temp becomes 11, and then we will simply assign the value stored in the array at index 4 to index 1. So it would look something like this, that the value in array at start index now becomes 7. Moving ahead, and now we'll simply assign the value in temporary variable to the end index of the numbers array. So it would become something like this, that the value in numbers array at the end index becomes 11. Moving ahead, now as we have swapped these two values, we'll simply increment the start by 1. So the value of start is 1, now it becomes 2, and now simply start will point to the index 2. Moving ahead, and we'll simply decrement the end by 1. So currently the value of end is 4, so it will become 3, and now end will point to the index 3. Moving ahead, now again condition in while block comes out to be true because 2 is less than 3. So now we will swap these two values. So we'll assign the value at index 2 to temporary variable. So now temporary variable is having value as 5, and then we'll simply assign the value at index 3 to index 2. Moving ahead, and finally we will assign the value in the temporary variable to the numbers array at the end index. So it becomes something like this, and finally we'll increment the start by 1. So start becomes 3, and now it will point to the third index. Moving ahead, and then we'll decrement the end by 1. So end becomes 2, and it will point to the second index. So now in while loop we'll again check whether start is less than end or not. So here you can see the value of start is greater than end, so therefore the condition in while block comes out to be false. And also friend, here you can see that his array is completely reversed. So friends, the idea behind this reversal algorithm was to actually take the two pointers, one would be the start position and one would be the end position, and we simply kept on swapping the values and then incrementing the value of start by 1 and decrementing the end by 1. So we performed this operation till start was less than end. So as soon as start becomes equal to end or greater than end, then we have actually reversed the complete array. Friend, here we saw an example with an array of even number of values. So we actually swapped in pairs. But if we took an array of odd numbers of element, then also this algorithm will work fine because the middle element will always retain its place when we are reversing an array. So friends, let's go to Eclipse and see the working of this algorithm.